What is up, guys? How is everybody doing today, man? You already know how it go. It is your boy B back, of course, with another freaking banger. How are you guys? I hope everybody's out there making money. Um, I'm tired. I'm tired. Today I went to the warehouse. Um, I made a few videos for you guys. Oh my god, it's ever since 5:30, but we up. All right, we up now. I'm gonna hop right into this thing. Okay. Because I have an interesting video for you guys. You know, phone flipping is my first love. If you don't know who I am, my name is Brandon Jones, and I specialize in helping you make an extra income. And today, if you're a phone flipper, you're somebody that is not making money as a phone flipper, somebody that feels like you're reaching your ceiling or you have reached your ceiling as a phone flipper, this video is for you. If you're somebody that likes to stay up to date, this video is for you. If you're somebody that is looking to get into phone flipping, this video is for you. I have been phone flipping since 2014. This is how I got my first car, my first apartment. Phone flipping saved my life. So I could just contest that it works when you do it right. Now we have a lot of people on the internet that claim to have methods and claim to like just complicate the process and lie and make it seem as if you can get rich flipping phones and only flipping phones. I'm here to just give you nothing but the honest truth, and just keep it 100, right? That's what this channel is for. It's for you to be told the truth and only the truth, nothing but the truth. Okay. So number one, we're gonna be talking about the iPhone 16. All right. You know the winter's coming. And I know I'm real big on the product reselling. I'm real big on eBay automation. I'm real big on all of these aspects. But phone flipping is going to be coming back heavily with content as well. I'll be covering more phone flipping content moving forward as well. But we have to talk about the 16. We're going to go over what the 16 is, what it does. I have waited for me to actually come live for me to do a deep dive into the iPhone 16 because I want to do it with you guys. I don't want to. This isn't a scripted video or a planned out video. I try to do all my stuff organic. All right. So let me first bring the screen on. And first, I want to talk about we have that buyer's price list, and that's what we're going to go over. Now, this buyer's price list is composed of 50 buyers international and in the country. So I have 25 buyers that are in the country and 25 that are international. For all of my people overseas and for all of my people in the States, we are all working together as a collective, right? One of the biggest pain points that I had as a phone flipper was me actually looking to sell phones to buyers and buyers making it difficult because it was me only having one buyer. That buyer sort of kind of controlled the market and he dictated the price that I was going to get. And I started to realize that, hey, I'm not getting the amount that I feel like I should. And if I am trying to negotiate, I don't have any leverage, right? Until this day, I know my first phone flipper. His name was Jay, my first phone flipper. And he was pretty cool, right? Me and Jay had no issues, but Jay just never, ever wanted to budge on his price. Like, he would tell me the price and the price would be the price. And that's not bad or good. You know what I mean? Like, that's business. But I really felt like I needed to have some type of leverage, and that's when I created this. All right. I went and I got my passport and I started to actually talk to different people. I started to network and I was able to get a hold of these buyers. Now, the iPhone 16 was announced last week. Okay. And it took all the way until today to get all 50 prices from the buyers. And we finally got the market value right now for used and new. Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys what the new and used value of the 16 is, and we're going to try and figure out how you guys can maximize and utilize this. All right. So if you're looking for a price list, this is right here. The price list, you can get it. It's $90 one time. The reason you pay for it is because this is not a buyback buyer's price list. And what I mean by that, this is not a price list based off of a single price from one buyer or from a price from a buyback company looking to just sell that phone to a wholesaler. This is a price list that actually allows you to connect with multiple buyers. Now, if you guys don't know, we do have the Reselling Academy, which incorporates phone flipping as well. And if you are looking to start phone flipping or are phone flipping, but you need more of an intimate connection with other phone flippers, you want to join the Academy. Um, the Academy comes with the buyer's price list. And again, the Academy is something that is going to give you weekly events. Okay. So when it comes to this, I just launched this week. We're making it to where we have discussions often. If you guys use OfferUp or Facebook Marketplace, you'll understand this and you'll really appreciate the fact that we have on the 16th of every month a selling app audit, which includes if you are buying phones on OfferUp or you're buying phones on Facebook Marketplace, we'll go on in the 16th and I will go into your app and I will look at your negotiations. I'll look at your tactics. I'll look at the offers you're making. I'll look in your area and I'll give you suggestions on how you can convert. A lot of people are having problems and issues converting. It's hard as somebody trying to get into phone flipping when a whole bunch of people are just giving you BS and fluff, right? They're not really incorporating knowledge, but instead they're focused on getting clicks, likes, shares, subscriptions, and also, of course, selling courses. As you guys see right here, I don't have any phone flipping course up here. Why? I used to, right? The reason is because it's not time yet, right? The market is changing for phones. And I want to make sure if I have a course, it's something like this, okay? A place where you pay monthly, but you're also given access to me on every Wednesday. We have a Q&A. Okay, we moved it to Thursday because yesterday I had a family event, but every single Wednesday, we have a Q&A. This is the perfect time if you're struggling with phone flipping for you to talk to me, or if you're somebody that wants to do a weekly check-in, which people do weekly check-ins where we talk and we discuss different objections or different pain points that they're going through. And also we have the plan of attack. In the beginning of the month, I ask you, what is your goal? Like, what do you want to make? What is your profit goal, right? How much money do you need to make? And the reason I ask you this is because I want to know so we can hold ourselves accountable. The answer I always get is, I don't have any number, Hustler or Brandon. I don't have any number. I just want to make money. I just want to make money. And I understand that. But when you start to actually realize this is a business in your business, you understand how important it is for you to actually put a number on it. And the reason you want to put a number on it is because guess what? When you put a number, you help measure yourself. You're helping yourself actually know if you're getting better or worse. A lot of the people out here that are phone flipping, you don't know if you're doing a good job or a bad job. You don't know if you're somebody that is doing it and you're pretty good at it. You don't know if you're improving, right? You don't know. Okay, you brought 16 phones last week and you brought 17 this week. Or matter of fact, you brought 16 last week and you brought, let's say, 30 this week. But the profit margins may not be where they were last week. So you're not making any difference, right? You're buying phones for $5 profit. So it's all about holding yourself accountable, and that's what this community does, right? And I'm very, very excited. And we also have leaderboards. So we have leaderboards, and it's cash prizes at certain different levels that you go. So again, I'm very, very excited about this. And ultimately, everybody that joins, of course, gets a product box. So you get different products every single month. So this isn't your money being wasted or you joining an academy for classes, which we do have. We have courses and all of that, and outlines and very in-depth arts of negotiations, stuff of that nature. But I don't want to highlight that right now because that's not the important part, especially for phone flippers. For phone flippers, it's the connection. Getting next to or being associated with multiple phone flippers all together that live this life are going to help you. All right, that's going to help you. All right, now that we got that out the way, let's talk about this iPhone 16. Okay, now when it comes to the iPhone 16, let's be honest. Okay, Apple is a rinse and repeat. They don't really do anything extra. I personally know very little about the 16 because I wanted to come into this video as somebody that doesn't know, just like you may not know. And, we want to understand what this thing does. We do see that it has the Apple Intelligence. camera control, get the perfect, like it's the same crap, okay? It's the same stuff. Same stuff. Right? They act like they're upgrading the chip, naming it A18 when it's probably just the same crap. I personally would not upgrade. But we're not talking about our personal feelings. We're talking about how we can get this and how we can sell, right? How can we? All right, that's cool. That's nice. That's nice. I should have blew it up, but that's nice. But again, guys, we just see when it comes to like buyers and how they're trying to facilitate this, because I have a group call with buyers every week. I'm gonna be honest, it's just there's no feeling, there's no like, oh my god, this is gonna change the world, you know what I mean? Nothing. We're just here to make money, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, pricing isn't nothing too crazy. What's up, Andy? Pricing is nothing too crazy. All right. Pricing, in my opinion, from what I'm seeing, is very similar. But we're gonna hop into that in 1 second. Uh, One thing I do want to say is when I looked at the pricing, you got the iPhone 16 Desert, and I'm very interested. And let me see if I can find it because I don't want to go through all the specs. 'Cause I don't really care about the specs. I tried personally because I know I'm an early adapter. I try to stay away from specs, and I try to stay away from like things that will persuade me to really want the phone, because I've got to the point before to where I'm flipping the phone and I really wanted to keep it. You know what I mean? And I wanted to keep it and I kept it and I lost that bread. So like me, I am somebody that likes to have the newest thing. And if you're somebody out there that likes that too, like you like to have the newest thing, cool. But what I would recommend is making sure that you don't get too deep into the technology, especially if you're planning on being a flipper and flipping in general. Don't get too deep. You don't need to know all of the product knowledge when you're flipping. That's not what you really need to know, especially not in the beginning. Because best believe when you first touch the iPhone 16 and let's say you're flipping, you're gonna want to keep it. That's how it works. I promise you, that's how it works. But then you'll start to realize that having getting high on your own supply is, I think, one of the biggest temptations and issues. Oh, you can play with your PlayStation controller. That's tough. That's tough. It's one of the biggest things that, like, I feel. Wait, what? 2 times faster than the 12 Pro Max. 40% faster. Okay, 20% faster. 20% faster. 50% faster. Okay. I don't know who's gaming on their phone though. I probably wouldn't. Compare. Let's see. 4 more hours. All right. I'm not seeing nothing. We don't. So T-Mobile, just letting y'all know. I don't know if you guys. Yeah, it's easy to you, Andy. I know, right? Me too. Like, um, I don't. So T-Mobile is actually rolling this, like this, I guess it's Elon Musk thing. We actually, so if you guys don't know, I'm partnered with T-Mobile with a few of my stores, and also I recently did this, or I'm building this solutions company. It's a whole thing that I do off the line, um, where I provide certain solutions to businesses, but I work with T-Mobile and I have a partner solution company with them. And we had a little Zoom meeting about this, and I believe I could talk about it. There's basically going to be the whole rollout, especially with T-Mobile, where instead of doing towers, they're going off of satellites. So that's coming really soon. Really, really soon. And you want to know something? The iPhone really so what I realize about Apple is they'll rob you and give you a little by little to try and make it seem like it's always something new, but it's really not. Wow, they're trying to compete. T-Mobile and all the carriers. That's crazy. Wait, why they don't got the? Am I tripping? Why they don't got the 16 Pro Max up? Hmm. Am I tripping? I feel like I'm tripping. Hold up, y'all. What's up with the 16 Pro Max? What the heck? 16 Pro. Why don't I see the 16 Pro Max? Is there no Pro Max? There is a Pro Max. I have pricing for the Pro Max. Where the heck is the Pro Max? It didn't release yet or something? Probably not. All right. Anyway. All right, cool. So regardless, we don't see nothing crazy. All right. Like I don't see like AI screaming out and talking to us and keyboards that we can actually really type. Hopefully we'll have a better signal and less call. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, from what I hear, so it's in testing. I have a few friends that aren't even connected to towers anymore. They're connected to satellites that work with T-Mobile and they're the business department. And they actually, I mean, they seem like they like it. All right. So let's start talking about the iPhone 16 Pro Max and let's start talking about pricing. So in my area, right? Of course, there's no 16s out, right? So one thing I will say is luckily we don't have anybody trying to scam yet because there'll be people acting like I got the 16 early. Um, we don't have any of that. Oh, wait. Never mind. All right, so we have somebody that has the 16. He says, but I know it's not the 16, but he says the 16, but it's really this is not the 16, bro. He's capping. It gotta be. It gotta be capping, but I spoke too soon. But this guy says he has the iPhone 16. Do I believe him? No. Why don't I believe him? And I like to tell and show you guys these things so that you don't get scammed, right? So this guy, he says he has the iPhone 16 Pro. Let's say I was somebody looking to buy phones, and this is something that I was going to do a video on. I was doing some research, and I guess Philly is one of the poorest lot. Yeah, they are. Yeah, so it is, and it's interesting because Philly has a lot of people that actually spend money. And like my store, I have a store so I'm sure you all heard of Kensington, right? So Zombieland, right? I I was raised in New Jersey, didn't know like I have family in Philly. Um I didn't know much about Philly when I started looking for stores. And I was young. So one of my stores are literally near Kensington. It's not in Kensington, but it's near it. And you see a lot of broke people spending money. Uh, That's like the best way I could put it. Like people that shouldn't be buying things, buying things. Like they're not paying their rent to buy a phone. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. And then you have the crackheads that are actually coming into stores with iPhone 15 Pro Maxes that they found, on the subway and it's just crazy. Like Philly is interesting, but that's how it is in a lot of places. But let's get back to Mike B, right? So you're gonna have a lot of this. A lot of this is gonna cost you a lot of money. Okay. A lot of money. This mistake is gonna cost you a lot of money, and that is people selling dummy iPhone 16s. Now, the reason I know about this is because guess who told me about it? Oh, okay. This I don't know what they're talking about. Okay. Anyway, sorry. Somebody in my store just told me about something. Just making sure we ain't getting robbed. Anyway, I was on the phone with a buyer from China, of course, and he was telling me how there are duplicates coming out. There are dummy phones with the Android software, but what it is they look literally and feel weight wise just like the 16. So you got to be really careful. What I want to say is let's be on full alert and let's open phones. So Don't keep the seals on. It's not worth it. If you guys don't know, you have different grades. You got A plus A, you got B plus, you got B, you got C, you got D. And a lot of people, when they get new phones, they want to get the A plus, so they don't want to open the phone. It's not worth it, right? It's not worth you losing hundreds of dollars because you want to keep 30, right? Always open the box and always turn the phone on. Take the white plastic off, turn the phone on. Use your knuckle or use your finger. Regardless, just turn it on. Make sure it's real. I promise you, if you are meeting somebody that doesn't want to walk into a building, don't do it. Trust me, just don't do it. Don't do it. I'm promising you guys right now, there's going to be a whole bunch of people that are going to lose money because they're going to think, oh my God, I'm about to start flipping. Oh, I got an iPhone 15 or 16 for $500. You know what I mean? Like, watch this. I can do, let's see, 400 right now. Let's see. But I already know it's a scam. Regardless, it's a scam too. Apple logo comes up, but he doesn't show the home. Also, why would he even open this up? And then he has a picture with the seal on. So it's like little things you got to really think. You know what I mean? Little things you really got to think, right? You have to start to realize, why is the seal on here? And then my man has it open right here, right? Like, did he take this picture before he opened the phone? But then if he opens the phone, turns the phone on, why just show us the Apple logo? Like, you have to have those type of thoughts, okay? But I'm guaranteeing you it's fake, okay? Now, let's see. Brand new. That's the only response he has, okay? That's the only response. And then you see New York, you already know. It's the icy Dunny bun. New York and Florida scam capitals. All right, next, let's talk about these prices. All right, so like I told you guys, we have the desert version and we have others. So we're going to stick with just looking at. Oh crap! I'm doing the wrong dang thing. They're gonna kill me. Hold on, y'all. Let me. All right, we're gonna look at just regular pricing. I'm telling y'all right now, if I was you, I would not buy an iPhone 16 until like end of October, mid October, because one, it's going to be so many duplicates out there. Two, it's not worth it. Like, it's not no money in it. It's not no money, and that's how it happens with all new devices. There's no money in it. I've been doing and going through phone launches since the iPhone 5C. The iPhone 5C was one of the first phones that I flipped, and it just came out. And if you know, then like the iPhone 5C was a big deal because of the packaging, because of the colors. It wasn't nothing crazy, especially price wise. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, you can go ahead and get an iPhone 14 Pro Max or 15 Pro Max and make the same profit that you would a 16, but you're going to put out more money with the 16. Plus, if you were going to take it further, you do the same thing with the 13 and the 12 Pro Max. No matter what phone it is, you can make the same profit. So, like, if you're in a position to where you can buy the 16s, I would really argue you buy it lower than usual. Would you stick with the same model as the 15s? In other words, paying only up to 750 or 800. So, looking at the pricing, if I look at this, right, and this is how I personally, so let's get this really, really, really clear. The way all these pricings came up, right, is because I had to wait for 50 people to all send in prices, right? Then out of all those 50 people, we added all up, then divided. Okay. And when we divide it by the 50, it comes up with the median, right? That median is what goes on this list. And then from there, the buyers then can negotiate up. And that's how that works, right? So these are like market value. This is what market value is. So $1,140 is what the market value for the desert I guess I'm saying it right. The 256 16 Pro Max, right? But then I look and I see the market value of the 15 Pro Max locked. It's 720. So when I see a big discrepancy like that, it bothers me. Why? Because what it shows me is it shows me that the market is unsure, because that's a huge drop off. That's $420 that you would be really mistakenly losing if you didn't get a unlocked phone. So let me give y'all an example. If I was to go and walk up to somebody off of OfferUp or Facebook Marketplace and they say that the phone was unlocked, and let's say that I didn't check the IMEI, I didn't do any of that, I'm thinking I'm getting paid $1,000, but really I'm getting paid 700. That is scary, right? Like that to me. Yeah, we in this for the risk, and we in this to lose money sometimes. No, not in this to lose money, excuse me, but we know we can lose money. But little risks like this, when you see that the price gap is so huge, it becomes a risk that isn't necessarily worth it. It's not, right? And as you guys see, there's a bunch of that going on. Look at this. The iPhone 14 Pro Max and then the iPhone 14 Pro Max locked. Look at it. Okay? Like, just look at how bad the pricing is, right? Just look at how bad it is. Okay? And these are new phones. Bad. But one thing I will say, if you are somebody looking to buy these devices, and to answer your question, Andy, I would stick with the fact that for an iPhone 16 Pro Max locked, if I see that the price, if I see that the price that I'm if I see the price that is the market value is 720, then the way I would do it, I'm gonna just show you guys in my head. This is the first time you're doing it. So I would think to myself, 720. All right, that's the market value. Of course, I want to always make at least $50. Boom. So that's 670. All right, bet. But then if I'm thinking about it, I want to be able to walk in with some type of leverage. So I would make sure that my ceiling is not known by the person selling the phone. So for instance, I know 670 is my highest, right? For me to make a $50 profit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say, all right, I'm just gonna take it all the way down to 600. And then when I take it down to 600, I'm then going to negotiate up. Like, I want that person to feel like they're winning. You feel me? Like, and I want you guys to look at the manipulation price wise. And what I mean by that is I want y'all to think of 670. And then I want y'all to think of 720. Mentally, if I was to tell you, hey, guys, I have a phone and I'm going to give you this phone for this price, right? If I say, hey, I'm going to give you this phone for 670, no tax, right? You probably be all right, bet. But then if I say, I'm going to give you this phone for 720, you're going to think to yourself, all right, bet, because the pricing doesn't seem too far off. Because mentally, and this is like a sales little tactic, whenever there's a price with a 7 in it, it manipulates the mind to going out of that indecisive mode to thinking, oh, well, it's not that bad. That's why you'll see a lot of people that are selling courses. You'll see a lot of people that are selling services. They'll be like, they'll have it at 97, 87, 197, 297, $77, $7. So 7 is sort of kind of like that number that people, their brains just, it leans towards the positive way more than the negative. Like, oh, it's almost $700, but I don't really think about it like that when I look at, okay, it's almost 700, but it's not 700. I'll take it. So you know that's just ceiling. 670 is what we're going to tell people. This is how much I'm going to. This is at most how much I'm going to pay you, but we can't let them know that up front. So we're gonna do. We'll stick with. Hey, I could do 600, and they're gonna say no. I already know how this is gonna work out, right? And when they say no, you say, all right, I could do 650. No, all right, the most I could do is 670. And then they're going to lean towards thinking to themselves, yeah or no, right? Now, this is not a consumer that I'm talking about. I'm talking about a regular phone flipper. Now, on OfferUp, you can tell a phone flipper, and I've went over that in many videos, many videos. Um, and I'm still going to go over it because I'm going to cover way more. We still got to talk about used phones, used 16s, because that pricing is out as well. But I'm not going to do it in this video because it's way more in depth. But the 670 is going to be like my highest. I wouldn't go past that. I wouldn't go past the 50% mark. I mean, a $50 profit. But if you look at it, it's not worth it. Why would I kick out $670 to make $50 when I can go and get an iPhone 13 Pro Max and make a $50 profit, or an iPhone? Like, this is the time when you don't want the newest phone. You really want the low tier phones that everybody's moving off of. You really want the 15s, the 15 Pro Max, the 14 Pro Max. You want those phones because now everybody's so focused on getting the 16. And while everybody's so focused on getting the 16, they're willing to sell their phones because they want to make that bread up that they either spent, or make the bread up so they can get it. Right? So this is the perfect time. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all this: scammers are gonna be out there. They're gonna be out there at AT&T, Verizon, Xfinity, T-Mobile. They're gonna be out there, and they're gonna be trying to get this 16. Now, as you guys know, which I know for sure, it's harder for all of these people to get these phones now. It's not as easy as them going and creating orders online and like asking old ladies to just make accounts for them. It's harder. So you're going to see that people are not going to be willing to just move off of these phones. So they're not going to take the set that, like, a regular person that just gets the phone, that's a consumer and has a consumer mindset, is not going to sell you the phone for 720. A person that's a phone flipper and understands what the market value is will. So it's not worth it. Okay, like, that's really the conclusion of it. Is it's not worth it. It's not worth it to buy the 16 right now. Instead, what it is, oh, okay. I see that you got the 16. Are you selling your previous phone, or what model did you have before then? Like, that's how I would approach people that I see that don't want to move off the price. So then you got to think about trade-ins, right? So here's what I get people, because I already have 4 people already are going to sell me 16 Pro Maxes, right? But I'm not paying any money. Let me explain how. So, and then you guys can do this too, because I'm nobody special. So what I did, right, is I know people that have like T-Mobile and Verizon, and I know that they can get trading credits, right? So think about yourself. Whenever you went to go get your new phone, you had the option of trading your phone in to get monthly credits, right? Like, they'll have, oh my God, get the iPhone 15 for $9 a month with eligible trade-in, excuse me. And you'll go ahead and you'll trade that phone in. So what happens to that phone? Do you guys know what happens to that phone that you guys trade in? So if you guys don't know what happens to that phone that you guys trade in, it gets sold. And they make, not even just T-Mobile, all of these companies, they send it to a warehouse in Texas, and that warehouse in Texas refurbishes them, and then they go back out to the buyback market. So what happens is I approach these 4 people. I say, hey, what are you gonna like? If you want to pre-order, because remember, I have a solutions company. And you guys will get to know my solutions company a little bit later, because I will let everybody know what it is. But hey, where or what are you going to do with the phones that you already have? A lot of people are saying, hey, I'm gonna trade it in for this credit. So what I say is, oh, okay, cool. So if you're going to trade it in for that credit, what's the credit that you're going to be getting? Oh, well, they said that I can get it for X amount of dollars a month. Okay, cool. What if I offer you half that upfront, right? And usually they'll say, no. All right, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'll pay your bill. And then I'm not asking you guys to do this. I'm telling you guys what I do. All right. So how much is your monthly bill and how much are they charging you for that device? I'll pay half of that device off, or I'll just cash you out the 500. And they ultimately end up caving because what people don't want is they don't want the credits. Because see, with T-Mobile or with Verizon, they have to assess the phone. You have to, when you are trading your phone in, they have to check it. And some carriers don't take cracked phones. Some carriers don't take phones that are they have charging damage, camera damage. So these people can't trade their phones in already. So what you do is you say, all right, bet. Like if you can't trade that phone in, what I'm going to do is I'll pay you the 500 that you would have got or the 300, depending on what problem it is. I act like I know what the trading value will be. So sometimes I even stage and be like, oh yeah, like, all right, bet. So, and this is even in my store. All right, yeah. So I just called my buddy at T-Mobile. So your phone has a cracked screen. So with the cracked screen, the credit is X amount. And what I'm willing to do for you, since you won't technically be able to trade it in for that free iPhone 16 on us, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pay it for you. I'm gonna just go ahead and I'll give you the 300 that they're going to give you right now. So instead of you getting that 300 on your bill, I'll give it to you cash. Does that make sense? I'm trying to like make it make sense because I know I sound a little slow right now because it's hard to break down. Like basically, I'm trying to like explain it in regular terms. Basically, you have a phone, but you cannot trade in cracked phones. Verizon just changed it where you can, but like with certain carriers, you can't trade in back cracked phones. When somebody brings me a phone that has the back cracked or that has the front cracked, I'll say, oh, you won't be able to trade this into T-Mobile for the full credit that they say on the commercial. You will only be able to get half. What they do is they'll say, oh, okay. I say, yeah, but what I can do is I'll pay the half to you instead of you taking that half and it going towards your bill. And usually when it goes towards their bill, it goes towards their installment. So technically they're not paying, they're not going to pay off the phone. They're going to just pay the regular price for the 16 or the 16 Pro Max, but they're going to have a lump sum of money. So that's another little strategy. But again, those are strategies I'm going to be going over in the Reselling Academy. So guys, again, check out the Reselling Academy. It is going to be phone flipping oriented as well. It's so much that I think can be done and built with phone flippers. But I think, prime example, my Discord, I can't share certain things in that Discord because not everybody is a hustler. Not everybody's a hustler. Not everybody will understand how to talk in certain terms, right? If you're somebody right now thinking about flipping 16s, you are financially illiterate. Okay. The reason is because you don't understand that this is a golden time to sneak behind and pick up every 15, every 14, every Pro Max you can. This is the perfect time because you have early adapters, mid adapters, and late adapters. Okay. Listen, I'm giving y'all free game right now. Let's start with the early adapter. That's what I am. Listen, you can get my ass. Okay. Pause. No diddy. Okay. But I'm saying anybody could sell me because I'm an early adapter, right? So if you got the iPhone 16 Pro Max in my face right now, and then I really know what it do, and you tell me it can do whoop de whoop, I'm going to just pay you straight out. Cool, I take it. Boom. I'm an early adapter. I don't have any sense of let me actually wait to make sure that the device does what it says. I don't have any like I don't let me make sure it doesn't blow up on a plane. Let me make sure that it actually is safe. Like I'll just buy it because I want to have the newest. So you have those type of people. Then you have a mid adapter. A mid adapter is going to be the person that's like, do what I just did when I first came on stream. Let's look at it a little bit. Okay, I see it got this little thing where you can touch and you can take the picture. Then it got the little Apple Intelligence. Siri is more smarter. It got the A18 bionic chip that does nothing but 5% of what the other chip does. And okay, I don't really care because half of the stuff I just said is wrong, right? But that mid adapter is that person that is like, all right, well, I'll upgrade. I will upgrade, but I'll keep my phone. That's what that mid adapter is. That mid adapter is okay. Hey, T-Mobile or Verizon rep, I'll go into the store and I want the 16. Hey, great. So, did you know that you can trade in your iPhone 15 Pro Max and then we'll do the 16 on us? A mid adapter is going to be like, no, I'll keep my phone. Why? Because they want to always know I can revert back. Now, let me explain to you what I mean by this is the time to actually pick up these devices. Because see, what will happen with a mid adapter is if they end up really liking the 16, they're going to put this phone in a drawer. Okay. This phone is going to go somewhere in a drawer. And then they're going to, once rent is due, once a bill is due and their expenses happening, they're going to be like, yo, you know what? Forget it. Let me take a picture of this joint. Let me post it up. You get me? So that's a mid adapter. Then you have a late adapter. You have that person like Andy. Shout out to you, Andy. He already told me he was a late adapter just by knowing him. He will have a phone that necessarily isn't the newest. It doesn't matter to him. It doesn't really matter because the phone does what the phone does, and I'll keep the phone as long as I can because it doesn't matter to me. I don't need to have the newest. Those are going to be the people that you will not be able to flip. Like you cannot flip these people because these people already have value in something else. It's invested in something else. So if I was to approach somebody and try to buy a phone from them and they're a late adapter, I would have to have a higher price point or a higher offer than necessary. Okay. And that's sort of kind of like how you gauge, all right, what model is worth me flipping right now. And to be completely honest, the best model right now for everybody to go to that is going to be nice is not the 15, but the 14. See, because when the 14 came out, that was eSIM, right? Everybody was moving from the 13 to the 14. The 14 had the eSIM. Everybody was a little scared that the eSIM would lock you in. A lot of people did not upgrade to the 15 Pro Max. Okay. I personally did not upgrade to the 15 Pro Max because I was like, ain't nothing different, right? So it's so many phones out there right now, and a lot of people are 2 years behind, and they're gonna think, oh well, I might as well go get the 15, or I might as well go get the 16. And guess what, guys? That's when you come and you get those devices that they do not want to trade in, but instead seek higher value. They're going to be an offer up. They're going to be on Facebook Marketplace. You just need to be able to build your capital. You guys need to know what the market value is. You guys got to know. I'm telling you right now. And once you know that, you're going to be straight. You're going to be good. It's going to be a wrap. I promise y'all. All right. So that is going to the price. What I will do though tomorrow, tomorrow at 10 a.m. I am scheduled to go live, and I'm going to be going over the 16 used prices. And the reason I'm going to do that in a separate video is because the used 16 price is a bit different. It's a different ball game. When we talk about new, we're talking about phones that are in the box. They still had a white paper and they still had a charger. You're going to get a lot of those. But how about used? Like how can a used price of a 16 be out already? Like how can buyers already know what they're willing to pay? I'm gonna tell you they don't. They're guessing. So that's why, let's say you go right now and you buy a used 16. What is a used 16? A used 16 technically in phone flipping definition is a device that is 30 days past due. So you can have a new phone just in the box, right? And never pull the white part out. But if it sits for longer than 30 days, it is then considered used. Don't believe me? Try it. Try to sell it to a wholesale buyer, and I guarantee you, if it's past 30 days, they're going to deem it as used because they, in certain countries, can't unlock it. They can't sell it the same. It's used. But how do they come up with the price point when the iPhone hasn't been out for 30 days yet. So it's really a scam. If I'm not dancing around it, because they don't know. They're guessing. And then what's going to happen is everybody that gets those 16s and they're used 30 days past due, which is impossible, right? They're going to say, oh, well, a iPhone 6, this is what the buyer's going to say to somebody trying to sell. They're going to say, and this iPhone is used. How is it used, sir? And it hasn't been used for us 30 days. What they're going to say is, oh, because it doesn't have the plastic, or the screen is lightly scratched. Or so that's how buyers get their money in the beginning. So that's sort of kind of like a little trick, and I'm giving y'all a free game. Like that's what I'm told this by people. You just look at the date sold listed on SIGW to determine and use them, right? No, because the on SIGW, when you type the IMEI in and then it says estimated date of purchase, that's estimated. It's never correct. It's never correct. It's always like a day or two off, or maybe a week off. I've seen I've got phones same day, used SIGW to check the phone to see if it was blacklisted. And it says I brought it a week ago, but I just literally got it from the store. Sometimes it's when the phone was scanned in by the store rep, and then sometimes it's when the phone was turned on. There's no way for SIGW literally to know the purchase date. It's not, because all of these cell phone carriers actually purchase the devices from Apple. So if we were going to go in depth with SIGW, it's like, hey, SIGW, is the estimated purchase date the date when Apple sold it to AT&T, or is it when the consumer brought it from AT&T? Like which one, right? So I wouldn't go by that. I would honestly have to say that's where, how do I say this? That's where it really it's really out of your hands. It really goes by what platform the person buying your device is looking at. And I'll unpack that. What I mean is, you may have, I got a guy in Virginia, he doesn't use SIGW. He uses another platform. When he checks his stuff, it might say, hey, this is 15 days past due. But like when I check it, it may say that it was only active for like 3 days. And we always have a discrepancy. But he's only going to go off of what platform he does. So the best way to tell you guys to deem it or to assess it would be to sell it immediately or sell it as soon as you can. When you sit on phones, that's when it sort of kind of becomes a little shady and hard for you to tell. When what the value is, and I try to choose my words carefully, because it is really hard talking for people that don't talk, right? It's really hard talking for buyers when every buyer has a different opinion, a different ego, a different because I'll be honest, Chinese buyers are way more strict than black buyers. White buyers, to me, they be chilling, they be cool. They just be nice, they just be they look out. Then you got some other type of buyers. Like it's so much, and it's no like race thing. It's just what you see in different countries. Like you'll see a certain buyer from London, they will really be on, like they'll overpay. A guy in Virginia overpays about $150 from a guy in Hawaii. But it's all different, what you call it, like ethic. Like it's like everybody has a different type of, like in China, they're not being rude just because they're rude. They're being rude because of how they're treated. That's just that's from what I assess. Like I know a Chinese buyer is going to talk crazy in certain situations, but I can't take it personal because I know that he deems this less valuable because it got to go through customs. He also might not be able to sell it in certain ways because his country doesn't allow, you know what I mean? Virginia, he may be like, yo, hey, I ship mine to Trinidad. Like that's the new thing too. People shipping phones to Trinidad and getting paid crazy amounts of money. And like, that's another thing. That's why I think I'm the best phone flipper on YouTube, because not a lot of people know all of this. Not a lot of people are tapped in like this. Not a lot of people actually understand like the little details in different buyers. Like, there's so many different details in different people that you associate yourself with the phone flipping community. It's very interesting. Like, I've been and met a bunch of buyers. They all treat people differently. That's why I tell y'all not to fall for this stuff, because you'll lose a lot of money. I've sold buyers phones that were sealed and they were clones, and I didn't know. And the buyers were like, "Hey, I want my money back." And I'm like, "No, why would I give you your money back? I didn't know it was a clone. You didn't know it was a clone. We didn't know it was a clone. What the heck?" And then they're like, "Well, I want my money back." Then I say, "Hey, if I needed a phone back from you, would you send the phone back?" No. So let's make it make sense. And I do want to say that too, because if you do buy a clone and you do sell it to a buyer, right? Don't get that buyer that money back. Don't be an idiot. Understand this: people are only going to play with your business as long as you allow them to. Now, you might be thinking I'm wrong for what I'm saying, but I'm 100% right. There's a thing called bad business and good business, right? If you, and I'm talking about, and let's be clear, the phones I'm talking about are the phones that are sealed. You look up the IMEIs, the IMEIs show everything is perfect, but when you open the box, it's not. You tear the seal open, it's not real, right? If you are somebody that has fallen for this trap, you're going to experience buyers being like, "Hey, yeah," and oh, I gotta mention, they weren't even trying to send me the phone back, so they wanted the bread back, and they wanted to keep the phone, right? So that's what they'll do, especially in China, because they don't want to pay for the shipping. So what they'll do is they'll be like, "Oh yeah, like, I need the money back. Can you wire me the money back?" And what I said was, "No, I can't. And it's nothing against you, but I can't, like, because your guys should have checked the phone. Like, why didn't you just open it?" You get me? So that's sort of kind of the way you got to handle it. Um. So yeah, y'all. So that is everything with the 16. I got a situation at my store I go to. So I'm about to end this, guys. Just be smart. All right. And again, join that academy, y'all. Join the academy if you're somebody that is serious about phone flipping or reselling. I can't wait to keep growing this. I can't wait to just grow everything. I just, it's a blessing. That's it, man. Just connecting with all you guys and even being able to just be watched by you. I feel you. I feel you. Being able to be watched and being able to connect with you is just awesome. So thank you guys so much for watching. I don't know what my dog Hustle is doing, but I will see you guys later. Um the link is in the no. What you mean? All you gotta do is go to the academy and then go to calendar, right? And then when you just click it. Click it. And then it will take you to the it takes you to the video call. Yeah. So tonight all you got to do is go to that link and click the click the thing, and it just takes you there. Yep. All right. And Andy, see, like that was one of the things that makes it more easy instead of waiting for a link. You know what I mean? Um so yeah, I can't wait to talk to you guys, and I'll see you guys later. I hope you guys make money work for you, don't work for the money. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you guys subscribe. Let's make this money. Let's continue to grow and be great. All right, guys. I appreciate you. I'm out. Videos are coming soon of the warehouse. I got so much stuff. So, all right, y'all. Peace.